Hello guys to my first video on this channel, and today I will guide you a bit through game engines and things. First, I will show you a bit of mine. I'm a 14-year-old game developer. I created a game called Shadowrun 2D. It's a platformer game, but it will have a part 2 where it will be a top-to-down game. I'm 14 years old, I live in Germany. My name is Fury. I don't know if I had said that, but yeah. Fury is not my real name, it's just like a name that I don't want to tell everyone of like personal and private reasons. But yeah, you can call me Fury anytime if you have any questions. But today we will handle one like main theme I have for this, which only want to talk to you. And the first thing is, or let's say the question is, the big question is, should you start with game engines or any with game developing in 2025? I think many people are just like me, maybe a bit older, maybe a bit younger, and they just think about doing maybe an game. Maybe not to publish it, maybe just to get their like scripting done so they can like learn it a bit, or just for their own cool flex. Because I can say that I made my first game, and most of my like friends, my best friends, everyone, they really enjoy the game, or at least that's what they say. And yeah, I would say, and I will publish this game too if you want to play it. It will come on December 12th, 2025 on itch.io, because I don't have like the money, and I just don't want to mess with buying me a MacBook and going for this version where I have to like buy everything for so I can develop my game on an app store or on the Google Play Store. So I just will start out on a browser game. But if you're on a computer, you can download the game itself, but only on computer. And on mobile phone, it really hurts me to say this, but it's unfortunately only a browser game. But this isn't as bad. And now, where we come back to our original question, should you start game developing? And I definitely say yes. I developed this game for around about 2 months, and I really made progress. I really learned like Python language and GD script. I know many people say, oh yeah, GD script is exactly like Python, and I can tell you it's not. I messed around a bit with Python, and I can tell you that this is very it's very like, it's like Python, but it isn't. It's like an even easier version for Python, and I think that's very good, because it's good for you to learn at an easy step. I think that's the best way to learn code, actually. I actually started learning code pretty hard with JavaScript and Java all, and I perfected it. And I can tell you, if I can go back this time, I would probably rather learn Python or an easier language, because I started at the top. But now when I look back, I think it was a good decision after all. But I don't want to talk about this. I want to talk about, at first, what game engine to use. And we have here a bit options. I personally play in Godot, and I really like Godot. This isn't a placement or something, I just like Godot. But there's many like options. At first you can go with Unity. And I think Unity is one of the most like used I don't know, so used engine, because you see most of the games are made there, or not most, but really very cool. You have cool community, learning, support, there's everything just perfected. And with shaders, 2D games, 3D games, is everything perfected down to the last bit of perfection. And I sure coded and made a game in Unity 2, so I can tell you my preferences and everything. And I can tell you this is a very good engine if you want to have like a little challenge and see your progress too. But the only downside is you have to learn maybe a bit even C# script, which is pretty hard. It's not one of the hardest. One of the hardest languages is C++, which we'll come to back later. But this is C# script is still a bit hard to learn. But I think it's okay. I mean, it isn't easy, but it's like okay. And now we'll come to the second option you can use, and this is Unreal Engine. And Unreal Engine is hella nice engine. I used it once, but I used ready thing, so I can just know Unreal Engine, so I can give you a review about it. And I can tell you this is only good for shaders and like high intense graphical games or like 3D games. I wouldn't recommend you doing a 2D game in Unreal Engine, because this won't work good. It will work, but it won't work good because of frame drop and it's just not that perfectly for thing. I think it's one of the hardest game engines ever too. Just because I have to tell you that it's C++. Yeah, for Unreal Engine you have to write code C++. Either you learn it or just copy and paste C++ from tutorials, which I really don't like, because you don't learn in tutorials. So you learn tutorials, of course. I use tutorials too to make my games, to run it smooth. But the problem is when you start with a very hard like game engine or scripting, you can easily get annoyed and lose your motivation. So I would only recommend you Unreal Engine if you're a pro, or you are really motivated and say, yeah, I can do this. Only then I would recommend you to use it. If you don't have this motivation, then don't start Unreal Engine. Now we'll come to the third option, which is Godot. And I use Godot. Godot is very lightweight, it's cool, it's open source. It has a good community. I really like the community. There are tons of great game assets out there. There are tons of great tutorials. And how I set it, the script is like really easy, you know. I created an entire player with only like 41 lines of code, which isn't much, so it's a good thing. The only problem is 3D. I think to program in 3D isn't as good in Godot, because you don't have the like options like in Unity or Unreal Engine. I think Godot should only be how do I say it? I think Godot only should be an 2D like game, but I think Godot is one of the easiest game engines because you have a node system. You just put a game node on there, which will be your game or your level 1 or whatever. And after this node, you put a tilemap node. And you put their textures in, get collisions, so a player can stand of it. Like I can, this is the new desert biome, and I can see you do have to do a collision for these, or a collider, physical collider, for these blocks, so you can stand on them, but not like lava, so you just fall. I think this is very practical too. But you have to see this as an option, or not as an option, but you have to think about this so you don't only paint everything in it and then just, oh, I forgot the collisions and now my player falls 500 blocks down. I think it's very lightweight, but it can get annoying when you have nodes and many coins. Like I have here coins, here coins, here coins. I have here many coins. The only problem is when you like go into coins and just start having like 100 trillion coins, and this is the only thing that can get really annoying. But if you put it into a folder, you don't have 1 million things laying around. And I would definitely use only Godot for 2D games. I think if I ever did in my like journey of game programming, I think I would choose Godot for starting, then Unity for like a 3D game or something like this. And when I'm like a really pro, I would definitely use Unreal Engine because it can get really intense. I think Unreal Engine is like, it's okay, but it's like really hard to learn because of like C++ coding, and I don't know, it's intense, but it's okay. If you are able to take this challenge, which I don't because I have not that stress point where I can just handle this out, so I choose Godot. But if you do have these encourage and power to just do this, I would definitely recommend you using Unreal Engine. But you have to like minimum have some experience with games or game engines, or at least how they work. Yes, and something I can definitely, if you use Godot or I don't know, Unity, whatever, I really recommend you at first when you're starting with game developing, I would say use pre-made assets from itch.io.com or Unity Asset Store, or their free models too. Or like, I think Unreal Engine has some assets too, I'm not sure. Or Godot, on the Godot website are assets too, and they look even pretty good, even 3D models. And if you start, I would use these pre-made textures so you don't have to pixel everything at first. But if you get a bit more intense in that game, I think you should actually pixel it yourself, because then it's a bit more like I did it myself. Like this enemy I did, I pixelated it itself, but only the shader isn't working. I don't know, I have to fix it, but that's an easy fix. Yeah, I think that's everything for the video. I wanted to tell you actually. I don't have many things to tell you, and this is only my experience with game engines. If you have any other opinions or other experiences, just let me know in the comments. It's just what I really like experienced with game engine and game engines. So leave a like, comment, subscribe, whatever. This video won't be cut or anything. I would slam some background music or something. But yeah, this is only for orientation. I don't give you any, like, you have to make your way yourself. Don't believe everything just some YouTuber on YouTube says. Yeah, that's just the thing. And I think if you start doing a project, just stay motivated and have an idea and just start. I think one of the biggest things you have to do when you make a game is just start, man. I think who's waiting for you? Nobody. So just start making the game, and it's fun. I can tell you, I have much fun doing this game, and I have to slave my friends that they play my game, but this is not a story, and I will definitely put some updates and videos on here. But leave a like, comment, it will really help me. Yeah, I think that was the video. Have a good day, have a great day, wherever you live, wherever you are. That's me. Ciao.